Before we begin, thank you. The response to the first 2 parts of this series has been overwhelming. Your comments, your stories, your questions, they revealed something important. This idea isn't just a theory anymore. For many of you, it feels personal, and that's why this final part exists. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, pause this video and watch them first, because what you're about to hear only makes sense if you already know the question. What if you already died once and never went back? People who return from near-death events often say the same thing. They survived, but something didn't. Life continues, yet it feels off. Familiar places feel unfamiliar. People you love feel distant, even when they're right in front of you. And the most disturbing part, you can't explain it, because when you try, you're told to be grateful you're alive. So you stay silent. But silence doesn't erase the feeling that this world is not the one you remember. One of you described this silence perfectly. After surviving cardiac arrest, they said, "This existence feels like a trap, not relief, not gratitude. A lingering horror where trying to explain what changed only gets you labeled ungrateful or insane." They said people don't want to hear it, so they learn to stop talking. Not because the feeling went away, but because no one wants to believe that survival itself can come at a cost. What if death isn't a door that closes, but a filter that sorts consciousness? Imagine this. Every time a sudden death occurs, reality doesn't stop. Instead, consciousness shifts to the nearest version of reality, where survival was still possible. Not because you were saved, but because awareness refused to end. You didn't beat death, you bypassed it. But what if continuing has consequences? Some survivors describe increased awareness, pattern recognition, emotional intensity, a strange understanding of life and people. Others describe the opposite, emotional numbness, loss of meaning, a creeping sense that this existence is thinner, as if something essential didn't transfer completely, like a copy made from a copy. Here's the question no one wants to ask. If consciousness survives death by transferring, what exactly transfers? Is it all of you, or only enough to function? Are post-death survivors still fully human, or something else entirely? Not monsters, not undead, but beings who crossed a boundary and were never meant to return unchanged. Maybe this explains why reality itself feels unstable, why time feels faster, why events feel scripted, why coincidence feels excessive, why the world feels more artificial than it used to. Maybe you didn't notice the change immediately because you were busy being alive. But deep down, you knew. What if this isn't the first transfer? What if each survival moves consciousness further away from the original reality? And what if each version is slightly less real than the last? Not hell, not punishment, just distance. Distance from the place you started. This series ends with one final question, and there is no comforting answer. If death is not the end, and survival is not guaranteed to be safe, then the most terrifying thought isn't what happens when we die. It's this: how many times have we already survived, and how far are we now from the reality we were meant to be in? The series ends here. If this series made you question reality, make sure you're subscribed, because some questions don't end here.